Hello, I'm Levi Cornelson. In my last video, I talked about attitudes and approaches to gameplay in tabletop role-playing games, and touched on game design as something that can provoke and support those attitudes. I wanted to follow that video up as quickly as I could with one that shows that in practical use. So here we are. You don't need to watch that video to make sense of this one, but it might give you a clearer idea of what it is that I'm on about. So, there are loads of different attitudes that a person or a group can have towards play, and plenty of the little bits in games that draw them towards those. But games often aren't optimized to provoke a particular attitude, and that's the topic here. I'm going to go over some games that are optimized toward provoking an attitude, to noting the large structural ways that they work to make that happen, and to try and generalize that for game design. Let's get right into it. Every game can be read as making a promise. Play it like this, you'll get a good result like that. Fiasco's promise is exceptionally clear and explicit. Use this process, committing to playing your character as someone who has powerful ambition and poor impulse control, and you won't just have a good time, but the session will produce a narrative a lot like Fargo, Blood Simple, Burn After Reading, or A Simple Plan. Sometimes the easiest way to get an attitude out of people is to just say, hey, try this. In the horror RPG Dread, there's a Jenga tower in the middle of play, constantly pulling your focus towards it. You drop bricks from it at various times, and you anticipate its collapse. That focus and that anticipation map onto fictional events and the desired emotions around them inside the game. It directly provokes you. At the other end of that spectrum in terms of visibility and strength, Call of Cthulhu's sanity mechanic draws at your attention, and its use and its effects are always highly anticipated during play. But it's not positioned as a focus in any physical sense. It just acts like one by being magnetic to your attention. For temporary and casual use, placing a wine glass in the middle of play, dropping tokens into it as something that counts up, or taking tokens out when it's something that counts down, can produce that same kind of focus. It's also possible to get this effect by having a tracking sheet or another device in the same position, and classically, you do this with a battle map. These are all central attractors, things that don't dictate any particular attitude or approach, but whose presence ensures that whatever your approach to play in the game will be, it will be shaped around that focal thing in some way. The fantasy game Quest explicitly prompts players towards working to entertain each other, an attitude of play as performance, a little bit radio play. It backs this up by including powers, which forward prompts for what characters should say and do, and phrasing a large chunk of the character sheet as an introduction you could read aloud for your character. But equally to what it doesn't do is have any fiddly numbers at all. Basically any math you need to worry about. No stats, no bonuses. There's almost nothing to fiddle with or to anchor any kind of alternative approach to. If you're not on board with its intended approach, there's not much to the game. Cthulhu Dark, which is a hack on Cthulhu, which started as a massive reduction of Cthulhu and is now a separate game. The massive reduction, the original 4-page version, eliminates almost everything except for the rules for insanity. It keeps that central attractor from Call of Cthulhu and cuts all distractions, acting as a smooth combination of those two ideas. So, in design, simply removing anything that doesn't directly support the approaches to play that are imagined, and then making it clear what that approach is, will pull people pretty firmly towards that approach. Morkborg simply buries the reader in attitude, producing ephemera. It makes it clear that being ornately weird in fiction and description and fatalistic in outlook is the attitude that the game runs on, and it's expected that you will take on that attitude as well. As an example for design, this one is pretty self-explanatory. Pile on the attitude you want players to adopt, and line up everything that you can in the game with that attitude. In Apocalypse World, and many of its descendant games, you are told to play to find out, and often to find out some particular thing. The particular thing that you're finding out is found out through critical decisions, which are off limits to heavy rewards, mechanization in moves and other rules, and off limits to preparation. You have to find out. You have to find out by making it up or deciding things yourself. The game refuses to make it up for you, or decide it for you, or give you a clearly optimal path. The text firmly warns you against doing those things in advance. It says, play to find out, not prep to find out. There's plenty of theorizing about fruitful voids, a term coined by one of the authors of Apocalypse World, that could be applied here, and I'd love to discuss it, but let's cut to the chase. Calling out and explicitly drawing attention to this is the part where players make the critical decisions, where they do the creating, and they do that themselves in the moment, is kind of the inverse of that central attractor idea from before. It attracts not by being present, but by being something specifically there to be filled in. The game keeps bringing you back to that is pointed out to you for that purpose. Applying this to a design is as easy as asking, what thing or things does the group need to play to find out in your game? Okay, to go over those again really fast, a game can draw people towards some approach to play by making a clear promise, having a central attractor, cutting out all its distractions, overwhelming you with mood, and calling out its voids. Most designs will use some blend of those, usually not going quite as far as the examples I've given, but it's worth going over any design you're working on and considering if it could do a stronger job on any of those fronts. Once again, thank you for your time.